Let's ask. Go.
What are you embarrassed to ask, dude?
Because they didn't come from me.
It's okay.
You gotta read it. You gotta read it,
bro.
Okay,
it's fine. You're good.
Okay, first one. Would you ever, or if she lets you smash on the first night, is she wifey material or no?
You know what? I've actually had girls I slept with on the first night who turned out to be very nice women, and they stayed and they were loyal and everything. I don't think that's a complete indicator.
Okay.
I will tell the world a little bit free game. My view of an indicator of whether a girl's good or not.
Oh yeah, go for it.
This is some free game.
Yeah.
Why am I gonna get in trouble? Let me think about it for a second.
Yeah, be careful because now you're on our
We'll
shit.
cut it out if we have to, but we kind of want to know this.
Who cares? So this is some game. So, the woman has the power the whole way through the dating, right? Until you sleep with her, she has the power because she's in charge. Because she's the prize, you want her. A lot of men say I'm the prize, but most of those motherfuckers say that dumb shit ain't the prize for nothing. They're nerds, right? So she has the power. She's the gatekeeper. The first time that power dynamic changes is after you sleep together, because now, if she doesn't keep you in a relationship, she's just a one-night stand or a hoe.
Sure.
You first sleep with her. Most men first sleep with a chick, and they continue to chase her, and they throw away their power. They get power, and it never crosses their mind. They throw it away. She stays in charge. What I have learned in my experience is, if you're dating a girl that she's in charge, and you sleep together on the first night, and after you sleep together, don't ignore her. Don't be a dickhead, but just kind of reduce your attention by 65%. Just like cut it back down. I slept with you now, boo. How are you? Yeah, I'm good. You? Shorter replies, more delays, etc.
Yes.
And here's what you learn. A good woman will then up her game and try harder to keep you because she doesn't want to just go sleep with some other guy because she slept with a guy. It's a big deal for her. She has a pure heart. She'll try for you. If you cut your attention down on a bitch and she just goes, well, fuck it, I'll go fuck someone else, or I'll just go on a boat in Miami, next party, or she stops replying, then
She did you a
ain't
favor.
worth shit.
She did you a favor
so,
too. Then.
Yeah. So
But
the easiest way to tell if a girl's good or not is after the first time you sleep with her to see her involvement in the relationship post that day. Most men never do this test on a bitch. They never do it. So this is why they keep getting stung by fucking girls who ain't worth shit. I can tell if a girl's worth something or not. That's a very easy. There's a few other things, but I'll give that one for free. It's a very easy way because a good woman ain't gonna sleep with a guy and then just go, oh, he didn't text me very much. Fuck, I'll just go get a new dick. Those are the ones you want to
And then
avoid.
it fucks with them too because they're like, wait, did he not like it? Like,
Well, that's
a good woman will
thing.
try
Yeah.
a little bit. It's the first time they'll be the one chasing you if you do it right. And then you can tell if you have a good one. If they do chase you after that, you have a good one. If they don't chase you after that, you'll be glad you didn't keep her anyway.
Facts.
Okay,
What-
here's
what-
the
what
next
is-
one. Well, wait, we got one more.
I was just gonna talk about on the same lines. Is that okay? Is that okay with you, dude?
I think
All right,
they'd rather
shut
hear
the
from
fuck up real
fans,
quick.
But if you want to talk about, let's take it back to fucking.
No, they're not gonna do that. We're not
Alright.
talking about that. We're talking about girls right now, motherfucker. What are the biggest red flags when it comes to a woman? Like when you first meet and you're trying to talk to her, what are the biggest red flags that pop up? You're like, okay, this is something I gotta look out for. As far as like you personally.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I'll truly... Stay with it, bro. That's the only thing I'll...
What do you mean? I'm staying at this crib.
That's the only
I'm
thing...
staying tonight. What do you mean?
Dog. That's the only thing I'll truly judge a woman on, because I think that's a very good test of character. Because if a woman destroys the stigma of just sleeping with a new man as soon as she's semi-unhappy with the current scenario involving you, then you don't want to be in a relationship with that woman.
Biggest red flag.
That's the biggest red flag. But like, if you're dating a girl, I think I've said this stuff before. I don't like girls who are over sociable. I don't like girls who know lots of people. I don't like girls who are always out. I don't like girls who...
You've said that.
Fair.
You said that on the last one.
I said it in the last one. Like, if I meet a girl and she's like, yeah, and I go here and I know this guy, and then the manager of this place invites me here, and then on Thursday I got this, and her whole schedule's just full all the time, it's just, to me, that's the biggest red flag. Because girls like that always end up just knowing too many people and get dragged in too many directions, too many people in their ear, too many guys getting a tempt, too many people getting a pop at the champ. It's just long.
This one.
I like girls when you say, what are you doing? I don't know, nothing. Like,
This one's
That's the
crazy.
one.
nothing. You're doing nothing
gotta-
the next 3 weeks. That's who I want. Those girls are like, I'm going Cancun. Like,
This one's crazy. I don't know. You fly a girl out.
Yeah.
That you've been talking to. You spend a bunch of money on her. Take her shopping, but she doesn't smash.
I don't think I'd take her shopping. If I flew a girl out and we didn't get along and she decided not to sleep with me, then that's absolutely and utterly perfectly fine in every regard. I would never want to sleep with a woman who didn't want to sleep with me. I think that's extremely bad energy. It's why I've never in my life paid for sex ever. I've never slept with a prostitute
Not
ever.
one hooker.
Never once. I lived in Thailand for a year and a half fighting. I must be the only guy who lives in Thailand that never fucks a
I like it.
Rub and tug.
Never.
Rub and tug.
Never. I don't like the energy exchange of a girl who genuinely isn't into me. I think that's bad karma. It's bad juju. So if I were to meet a girl and I were to fly her out and she'd go, I'm just not into you sexually, I'd be like, good. I don't want to get mixed up in that kind of negative energy exchange.
Had you always been that way, or is that?
I think I've always pretty much been that way. I think the gratification of sleeping with a woman is not just about numbers and banging and stupid shit. The gratification is that she genuinely cares about you and loves you. I think that the love between two people is a powerful energy. I think that women, when they love you, can care for you and genuinely protect your spirit. Yeah. I've had experiences in my life. I'll tell you this, man. I've had times where girls who truly love me with all their heart will do anything for me. I've woken up and all three of them, different ones, all text me on the same day. I had a bad dream about you. Something bad's gonna happen, and that day something bad happens.
Oh yeah.
If a woman truly, truly loves you and truly cares about you, they have a degree of power and protection that's important. I don't want to mess with or be around a woman who's not infatuated with me.
Sure.
Any woman who I'm going to be with, I'm going to be the center of her world. If I don't answer, she's panicking. If something bad happens to me, she's like, if I go to jail, she'll be there. I'm not going to be with some bitch who's like, yeah, he's cool.
But is that you?
I think that's just negative. I don't
Is
want to
that
do
you
that.
or her?
Every woman who's around me, I am the center of her universe.
Is that you that makes her like that, or is that her naturally?
Well, that's a good question. Obviously, I'm me.
Yes.
I'm me. But I think that if a woman truly understands in many different areas that they can hand their life into your hands and you can take care of them, including financially in every single way,
Yeah.
then you're going to be the center of their universe. You're their everything, right?
Sure.
If you were to disappear one day, their whole world would collapse. Their social circle would collapse. Their finances would collapse. Their worldview would collapse. Their protection would collapse. The places they go, where they're staying, everything would just collapse. You're the center of their world. That's the kind of girl I want to be associated with. If I was with a girl just like she had her own life and I had my own life and we kind of linked up, that's not my thing. I'm not interested.
Do you think you're the best guy at podcasts?
Top G. No,
Going on guess. Do you think you're the best?
But what was the original question? Because we've gone off on a tangent. What was the original question?
Bush or no bush?
No.
What do you do if you fly a girl, take her shopping, and she
The
doesn't
original
smash?
question I wanted to answer. The question I want to answer is the reason I wouldn't. Oh, cool. The reason I wouldn't take her. The reason I wouldn't take her shopping before we slept together is I just think that's a negative frame to set. I don't think that's a good frame to set. I think that's a strange dynamic.
But you talked about the energy, right? The
Yep.
energy in relationship to a woman and you dating her
Yep.
and her being in your life. And
Yep.
you talked about if you're genuinely in it and you want her genuinely in it because of that like good energy.
Yep.
You're saying that equally as if you're just like kind of frivolously having sex with women and just having sex to have sex and maybe she's here but you're not actually building any sort of bond that also that builds like a certain sense of negative energy in your life.
Well, life is an energy exchange.
Yeah.
If you look at a fight, right? You have to make sure the energy you spend punching him does more damage or takes away more energy than you've expended. That's why missing is a big problem. If you miss all the time, then you've wasted energy with no net gain, right? So life's an energy exchange. This is how it works. If you're out here just fucking bitches who don't care about it, you are wasting enormous energy. Let's talk about this in length, right? We can talk about it first financially. You're going out, you're spending money, you're taking her out, taking her dinner, you're spending money. That's the first thing. But the second thing is, a lot of men, especially if they're insecure, really feel like they get a victory if they fuck a girl. And at a certain status of man, that disappears. And I'm going to state this once again without arrogance. I go out to Dubai now. I pick up a girl in the club. I come back here. I fuck her. She doesn't care about me. I don't care about her. Hey, I fucked this hot girl. I've got a fucking $5.2 million Bugatti. We're coming back to a $48 million mansion on the Palm. I'm the richest guy in the fucking club. I'm top G, whatever. I sleep with her. I put all the energy in all night smashing her right. She just lays there chilling. Has the best night of her life. And I'm gonna go there. Did I win?
You know.
I didn't. She
you fucking
won.
gave that shit up.
I just gave it all up.
Yeah,
she
what?
gets to talk about riding in the Bugatti. She has a picture on the Instagram in the Bugatti chair. She's here walking around doing Instagram stories here, pissing
Yeah.
off her ex in my house. She
Yo.
gets fucking slam right. She doesn't do nothing for me. Nothing. The only thing a woman can give me back at my status in life is
That's
absolute devotion to protect my spirit. I need a woman who loves me completely and utterly. I don't expect her to have financial incentive to look after me. I don't expect her to be physically capable of dealing with my problems. I don't expect her to be my problems are very complex. I don't expect her to be sitting there on a computer trying to work them out. I expect her to sit there and go, I love you so much. I'm just worried about you and I just care about you.
Everything's about love.
It's all about love.
What
Yeah.
if
Now, that's what I want, because that's a fair exchange. I can take a woman all around the world, spend a bunch of money on her. I can be top G, spend all this money, give her a life she could never see. If I am truly the center of her universe, she is giving me value back. And that's why I'm not going to go out here and fuck bitches who barely care about me or just vamoose a bitch in a club for a one night, because she's winning. It's like throwing money down the drain.
What if Kim Kardashian slides in your DMs and says, "Hey, Tate, I want a piece of that"? How are you responding?
I'm kind of careful about talking about celebrities
He's
now.
trying to get
because
the TikTok
I
right
end up
there.
meeting them all. A woman's job is, in my view, the women who mean the most to me are the women who truly protect my spirit by just loving me and caring about me and using their intuition to truly want the absolute
love
best
this.
for me.
He's the
That
best.
is
Go.
so
I fucking
important.
love this. I
know.
It's
fucking
true,
love
though.
this.
He's the
I
goat.
fucking love this.
It's true.
Yeah, you're the
And
goat.
so
We got it.
It's important. And that's why if I meet a girl and she's half into me or some frivolous shit or if I had a girl, she had her own life, I had my own life, but she was hot, sometimes we smashed, I would see that as a net loss of energy for me. I would say, no, it's a net loss. I'm the one doing the work. I'm the one doing all the fucking work. Like, I always will be. I don't know. Maybe some of these other dudes
Even
get
if it's
pegged
like
and shit.
that?
I'm the one doing all the fucking work. So it's just, why am I doing it? She's winning. I don't want that. I want it to be a mutual exchange. And that's why a woman who truly cares about me, it's amazing. I'll tell you how this is true, in case anyone doubts me at home. Anyone thinks I'm talking shit. Next time you are sick, no. Next time you are seriously sick, next time you are genuinely sick and you're ill in bed, you don't call your boys. Who do you call? You call
Oh
a
my
chick.
God, it's a fact.
You call a chick.
That's a fucking fact,
It's
dude.
true. And
Holy
they,
shit.
And they sit next to you, and they'll sit and get sick with you, and they'll hug you,
shit.
and they'll give you their energy and their love, and you'll feel better.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
I
When you're
agree.
sick, you notice it. I have that all the time.
That's so true.
Every
When you're sick and a girl loves you, she will fucking
You
come
hit
in
her up.
bed.
and
you
she'll,
just
and
don't hit
she'll
your
make
boy.
you better.
We wouldn't do that. Like when a
No,
girl's sick,
fuck
I'm
no.
like, yo, like
What the
get
fuck?
better.
I would do that for either of you.
What?
If you guys
I
needed
wouldn't
me
do
when
that
you're
for you.
sick, I would fucking show up.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
I
like,
wouldn't do that.
We don't want you to cuddle in bed though.
No, I don't want to
There's
cuddle,
none
but
of
I'll
that.
be I'll fucking
I'm saying,
Postmates.
even if you're sick, you don't want your boys. You want a chick because they have a healing energy. If
Yes,
they love
bro.
you.
A sick blowy doesn't hurt too.
That's true.
Fuck that.
It's a healing energy. So my point is that
Okay.
why only apply that when you're sick? Why not apply that to your entire life? Why not just every single woman who sees you? If I walk in the room and one of my chicks sees me walk in the room, I can see in her eyes like it's like Christmas.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I don't want just some bitch who's hot and I just fuck her.
Jacob,
That's a
can you give me
loss.
one of
for
those?
me. I'm not interested in that.
Tropical.
So I
Such a
don't
good
pick. I don't
perspective.
pick up chicks anymore. I don't run out here
Do
picking
you
up
have
chicks
a,
in
do you have a
Dubai's
main
porn.
girl?
I'm not gonna talk about my personal life because
Sure.
I'll tell you why.
Sure.
Because there's feral psychopaths who are out who have attempted to destroy
fair.
me.
I
So
get
I have to
that.
be very careful what I say.
No worries.
So like, there's literally feral psychopaths who are on a mission to try and.
Liam came in for a question
Yeah.
here.
Oh yeah, run it. Go
Oh, no,
for
no,
it.
no, I'm gonna
Uh,
blend in it.
I was gonna say, I just think this is the kind of stuff that I think is so important for young men to actually hear. And this is like just not talked about enough. The fact that like having relationships with a woman is not just about sex. Like,
Absolutely.
It's about also all this other stuff that we're talking about, the energy, like how you feel in it. And I was talking to the boys earlier about like, I'm trying to settle down. I'm trying to have a kid in general. But my biggest issue was always like just allowing myself to fully, in a sense, be okay with myself. Like
Yep.
I've struggled with that my whole life.
Yep.
And I'm kind of at a point in my life where I'm trying to like decide who the right person is for me to like basically have a kid with.
Yep.
Right? I'm 33 years old.
Yep.
And it's something that I really want to do. How do you know when is the right time, and how do you know when is the right person? And I was kind of talking to them a little bit about it, but I just wanted your perspective on this.
That's a really good question, man. That's deep.
it, though?
One. It's a good one.
But it's
No, it is.
I asked it though
And then he
because
said that 3
I when I look for things, I look for everything you just said, which is like who's the person that you go towards that is like healing, that is
Yeah.
like loving, is
Yeah.
more than just pussy and some whatever,
Yeah.
ass, whatever.
So let me apply it to a slightly different scenario. Let's look at it from a business perspective, right? So I probably have maybe 90 to 100 people who work for me. And I would not, if I had somebody who wasn't very capable, but was absolutely and utterly dedicated and completely loyal, I wouldn't fire them. Whereas if I had a guy
How?
who's, no, I'm not saying they're complete useless. I'm saying they fuck up a bit in there, but they try their absolute best. They're loyal to the cause. They're there on time. They really give it their all, and perhaps they're not as capable as some other people.
Okay.
I think loyalty and absolute dedication is an extremely important thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
If I were to have a kid with a woman, my biggest thing to look for above looks, above even her intellect, it would be two things. It'd be one, the family she has around her, and we'll talk about that why in a second. And two would be how dedicated she is to me. If you were to give me a woman and she was dedicated to me to the end, and I could see it. No matter what, I'm the man she wants. She only talks about how I'm the only man she wants. She doesn't want anyone else. That's what I'd be interested in having a kid with, because you never know what's going to happen in life. And if it all goes wrong for me, I can't be sitting in a cell thinking my baby mama's fucking somebody else. I can't handle
Okay.
it. So I need that dedication. The second thing when it comes to kids is family, and I'll tell you why. And this extrapolates out. This is actually very important, because when a man, I think a lot of the reason why men today, especially older men, are slightly a bit unhappy is there's always going to be a degree of rebel or a degree of adventure that every man needs to feel satisfied. And once you have a child, if you completely get rid of those things and only live and exist for the baby, especially when it's very young. When it's older, it's a bit different. When you exist only for the baby and become a second mother, you're going to be very unhappy as a man. You're going to need your time away as a man, and the woman's going to be stuck with just the baby and be unhappy. And in my experience, people I know, if you find a woman with a good family, like she has a sister who has a kid and her mom's around and the family unit's strong, and they say it takes a village to raise a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
of
know,
course.
if there's other women and other, because women are great with babies. They love that shit. So like, if you were to ask me if I had to have a kid, who'd be the ideal target? It'd be a woman with a couple sisters and a mom, and they all have young kids, and now she has a kid, and they get to do a bunch of kid shit together, and I don't really want to go see Frozen. It's bullshit. I'm out with my boys. I'm in the gym. They're doing the Frozen shit. Boom, boom. You need a good family unit, and you need someone who's dedicated to you. And then,
Yeah.
bro,
Brad,
she's a
Frozen
7.
Brad,
so
I gotta ask something real quick. Wait.
Go
What
ahead.
if you really love this girl, right? But she has crazy daddy issues.
What does that mean?
Like she doesn't talk to her family, she doesn't talk to her parents.
That's fine. I'm just talking about an ideal scenario.
Do you make exceptions? Like,
Yeah, of course I'd make exceptions, but you can also extrapolate that, right? So you can fix the problem. So let's say I found the perfect girl in every way, but she didn't have a strong family unit. I'd fix that myself. I'd go to Tristan and say, cool, who's your main chick? Bang. All right, these two chicks are gonna live together. Bang, you knock her up, I'll knock my one up. Boom, now she has her own family. Bang.
Hey, wait a sec.
Done.
Bro, you're fucking crazy.
Wait.
Done. It's
Fuck.
done.
You're not.
did you have that planned?
No, it's just the truth.
Yo, how,
Bro,
how-
you're a fucking comedian.
Wait, Slim,
man.
get in here.
But it's not
I'll fix-
100%.
I'll fix the issue.
Bro,
But you need women around you. You need the baby atmosphere. Boom, let's make it.
But
Bang,
now
bang,
you gotta
bang,
convince. But now you gotta convince Tristan to have a kid with some girl that maybe he doesn't want to have a kid.
He's upstairs.
Walk. Do this. Cool.
Yo,
Yo, you're
yo.
so.
Done.
I understand what you're
Brothers,
saying. No, I
no, but
understand.
you can also create an environment then create an environment around it. Or,
Yeah.
or
Well, why not-
introduce,
why not-
Or no. Introduce her to your family, your
That's what I'm
sister,
saying.
your mother.
Why not have
Get a
Tristan
family
be
unit.
her new brother?
Get a family unit. I think that it takes a village to raise children. I think some of the biggest problems with the world today are now that a lot of people are isolated and the nuclear family's kind of broken down. I know when I was young, I was raised with a bunch of cousins, aunts, uncles. That it's not so much like that anymore. I think it was better when we were larger groups, and I think that if you can try and keep that involved, it's also a lot better for the man because you're going to need your freedom.
Yeah.
You can't just I've had a baby now, so my life's over. And I think with women, to a degree, if they have a baby and they sacrifice certain parts of their life for the baby, for some reason I think they're more biologically positioned to do that. If you look at men, there's studies that show if a man hangs around a baby, his testosterone level goes off the roof and they get depressed and all these things because you're just not set up for it. I mean, I've been around children crying or screaming, and the chicks don't seem to care, but all the men are like, it's just a thing.
No, the
it's
guys
just a
are
thing.
stressed.
It's just a weird thing. So I think that you need to keep that in mind and plan ahead for it, and then you'll be happier overall.
Andrew, how would you deal with a father that doesn't like you? Like, say you're with a girl, and like he's just not fucking with you.
Yo, that was a very just. That
I
felt
really
really
want to
personal.
know.
Yeah.
That felt super
That's
personal.
okay.
I'm serious.
That's
I
okay.
wanna know.
Okay, so I would.
Yeah, how do you impress the fathers?
Yeah, I would accept that.
I feel like you're good with dads.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I am. I've never had that scenario.
But
But
what about your relationship with your father?
me and my dad always got along.
Creating your
so
value.
well. But I would accept that everything in life is my fault because that's how I work as a person. I would accept that him disliking me is my fault. I would be a man about it, and I would ask him what he's unhappy about, and he might be fucking right. I'd sit there and go, what do you dislike about me?
So just confront the dad.
Not confront in a negative way. I'll just say, look, I'm here with your daughter. I really care about her. She's made it clear, or I get the impression that you're not particularly happy with me. Is there anything I can do? I just want to show you respect. You're a bit older than me. I want to show you enough respect to ask if there's anything about me that particularly upsets you.
It's a power
Like because he'll respect you more. Men respect men who stand up for themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
So the first thing he'll do is respect you more for even asking instead of hiding away from the dude.
If you say it in a respectful
that's
way.
You say it in a
yeah.
respectful way, and then he'll give you a bunch of answers, and then you have to be non-emotional and be professional. Listen to the answers. Don't get defensive, and sit there and go, you know what? 70% of them are probably
So what do you
fucking
think's
right.
better? What do you think's better, like to be supportive or tough love?
In what scenario?
Your
you have no
your
context.
father with your son.
Why do you think? Sorry. Why do you think
That's
it's so
something
hard?
I went through, Brad.
Let's just shut the fuck up for a second. Why do you think it's so hard for men to be able to be vulnerable with themselves? Like, because that's hard for a
That's
guy
a
who's
valid
like, yo,
question.
men are I guess we're taught to be so strong and so like powerful that we're not taught to be able to be vulnerable to say like to go listen to that criticism without being like, well, fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of it's the internet, man. A lot of it's the internet. People have lost the whole fucking face-to-face thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 36, right? So I'm a slightly older generation. But back in my day, if you wanted a chick, you had to go up and say hello. There was no Tinder, no internet, nothing. Everything was in person. You want to do a business deal, it was in person. It was in person, it was in person. And I think a lot of men, who, if their dad doesn't like them, would be too scared or too intimidated or too nervous or too egotistical or arrogant to just go and sit there and say, bro, she's your daughter. I'm telling you, there's not a dad on earth who I couldn't sit there and say, listen, I understand you've seen things on the internet about me. I understand the media said a bunch of things. I know she's your daughter. You've raised her your whole life. I can see how close you are. She really loves you. She talks about you in such a positive way. If we're going to be together a long time, I'm going to end up part of this family.
That must be so tough.
Would you like to talk about it?
Let's see what he said. Dude, what he just said. He said
Well,
that
wait,
must be so tough. The point
tough.
is, why do you think it's so
No,
hard
but
for
that's
people?
facts.
But if
Bro,
you
shut the fuck up for a second. Shut up, bro. For real. Why do you think it's so hard?
It's hard. It is hard, and it's hard because the internet has destroyed. It's made everyone socially awkward, and also, I think that some of the basic tenets of how humans have been raised for a very long time have been destroyed. Like basic shit, like respect your elders, bro. Like he's older than you,
Alright.
and that's his daughter, and he doesn't like you. He's allowed to not like you. That's his daughter, bro. He's older than
gonna-
you, and that's his daughter. You need to humble yourself. It's arrogance. We
Yo.
live in a world now where all these young kids on the internet and shit, they're all arrogant as fuck. And if I'm gonna humble myself right? Mr. fucking $200 million, and I'm gonna humble myself to go
Is that
sit
your?
there.
Is that what you
200
got?
mil?
Is that what you got?
Is that what he
Whoa,
saw?
whoa,
That's
whoa,
cap.
whoa, whoa,
Snuck it
whoa,
in.
whoa, whoa.
But no, if I'm gonna humble myself, you have to know your position, right? No one's top dog all the time.
Never.
I may be top dog in certain scenarios.
Who do you
but if I
think's
go
top
into-
dog to you?
If
Bro,
I,
let him answer the fucking question.
I may not be top dog.
Steiny needs air.
Yeah, dude.
I may be top dog in certain
Shut up,
scenario, right?
Yeah.
In certain scenario, I'm top dog. But if I go skiing, I'm not top dog. I can't
Yeah.
ski, right? So when it comes to a man raising a woman or raising a daughter for fucking 28 years, or however old she is, and dedicating his life to her, knowing he'd take a bullet for her, you can't be the top dog and go, I don't owe this man an explanation. You have to humble yourself and sit there and say, listen, he's upset. And I'm telling you, by even asking the question in a respectful way, you've already taken one step forward. You already have, regardless of what he says. Now, he may say a bunch of shit that you can't help. He may be a piece of shit. He may be racist. He may be whatever. But it's good to at least hear the man out. And you may be surprised. I guarantee 95% of the time, he's just going to say something like, I don't think you're serious about her. You don't care about her. And you can probably fix it.
Yeah.
So if a dad wasn't
That's a power
if
move.
a dad wasn't that into me, I'd fix it. Everything in life is my fault. He has a perception of me. That perception is my fault. And I would address the perception and attempt to fix it.
Are we gonna-
That's why I've never had parents, any woman I've been associated with ever, just like them. I've never had it.
Are we
ever.
gonna see a baby G soon or no?
Of course.
How far out?
Whoa.
One on the way?
Listen, if I had
Baby G?
if
We
I-
need a baby G, bro.
If I had children, I wouldn't say on the internet because feral psychopaths are aiming to destroy me. And when I have children, I will not say on the internet because feral psychopaths are aiming to destroy me.
So maybe you have some.
My children will grow in anonymity because I don't see the point in flashing them off on Instagram. And also, my children will not grow rich because they must be poor. So I don't. All this lifestyle they're gonna get fucking none of. So
Inheritance. What do you think about that?
I know that the best possible start you can have in life is to be from good parents and no money. So I'm gonna make sure that happens. I'm not gonna be
Okay.
having rich kids.
You wanna?
I'm not gonna spoil kids.
Are
So
we
yeah,
good?
so that's the answer. That's the answer. You can fix the dad shit. You can always fix it.
No, you're the go. I mean,
That dad
You're good,
shit's
yeah,
so
sorry.
interesting.
These guys are.
Salim probably hasn't.
Nah, 'cause
Salim's
it-
got some questions.
That shit, I mean, obviously with you, that's like a totally different story. But for me, like with videos, because I do videos with girls all the time,
Yeah.
it's always like, fuck, man.
Okay,
like,
but
coming
put,
into this guy's
put
house.
your,
You're a huge dad
put-
guy,
put-
though, no?
Oh yeah, I'm great with dads too, bro. But it's just they
Get out
don't
on the
get it.
golf course with
They-
them too.
put
Yeah.
put yourself in his shoes, right?
I get it, yeah.
Like
It's
what
just bad.
I would be an arrogant. The biggest problem with the world today, and I get called arrogant all the time, but I actually don't like to think I
does
am.
that bother you or no?
No, because it's not true. But I actually don't like to think I am. But the biggest problem with the world today is the absolute amount of brutal arrogance that people have inside of them. Everyone's so ridiculously
I
arrogant.
get what you're saying.
How can you say that when people feel that way about you?
No, but me. Listen, what kind of person would I be to sit to a woman and go, "How dare your dad not like me?" Look at the shit they write about me on the internet. Well, how arrogant would I have
I
to
don't
be to
think that
go,
would be
"Fuck
the
that
approach,
guy"?
though.
That'd just be dumb. I'd be like,
Yeah.
"I completely get it. Let's go see your dad. Let me go talk to the dude."
Yeah, I think this thing
Yeah.
comes down to like people are just not comfortable enough with being vulnerable.
Completely, and they're not
So-
comfortable with normal
I hate meeting the
social
dad,
human
though, bro.
interaction.
I hate.
But I mean,
meeting
So
that's-
that.
okay,
I kind of like it, man.
I don't like it.
It's kind of interesting.
okay.
interesting.
How do you think?
It's
how do you
always
think?
nervous the first time.
How do you
Yo,
think
dude,
someone
would you be
can?
the godfather of my son?
Yo, you're clipped right now, huh?
Yo,
Yeah, shut the fuck
mix
up
in a
for a
water,
second.
bro. Chug a sparkling water.
Would you or no?
Talk about that later.
Andrew,
We need to drop you off at
um,
IKEA, bro. I
How do
swear.
you think? How do you think a young male can allow himself to be more vulnerable? Yeah. Like, what are the steps he can take? Because I think that's the biggest problem. Because a lot of it is like being unwilling to confront something within themselves, or being like, in this sense, being able to confront the dad because he can't take that criticism, right?
Yeah.
So how do you think a young male can build vulnerability in himself and be comfortable with it?
Yeah, and that's a really good question. And I think you're never going to be good at something you don't practice.
How do you do that?
You just have to understand it's part of human nature, and life is not always about being comfortable, and you just have to practice it. And like I said, you can get a sales job, or you can practice it, or you can go to the. I think facing confrontation in your life in general is going to apply. But yeah, a load of people are living very sheltered realities. There's a whole bunch of people who are just sitting on the internet, swiping on Tinder, talking to girls by text message at first, half knowing her before they meet her, and then when they meet an older dude who wants to sit there and look them in the eye and say, "Look, you're banging my daughter and you're acting like a piece of shit on the internet. I want to know the truth about it." They're gonna sit there and go, "Oh, this is weird." It's not
What-
weird.
what do
You're
you-
weird. You're the weirdo. He's not the weirdo. He grew up in the normal world. We've grown up in a world now which is completely and utterly fucked. Morality's fucked.
That's
Everything's
actually very
fucked.
true.
Well,
We're the weirdos. He's
Hold
not
on, Brad, I
weird.
gotta ask one thing. I'm curious. What do you think the percent of males, their success, like their reason behind wanting to be successful, is to get a girl?
I think that status signaling has been the same since the dawn
Like,
of
do you think
human
it's
time.
more money or they want a chick?
I think that status signaling has been the same since the dawn of human time. I think that peacocks have feathers for a reason. I think the reason the kings of old got gold and conquered land was for pussy. I think men have always been the same. We've always wanted to signal our status to get females.
Yeah.
And nothing's changed.
Sure.
We don't want the big house and the nice car because we want to walk around a huge house to go toilet, and we want to break speed limits. A lot of it is just a status signal to show the world, look, I'm important, look what I've done.
To be accepted.
To be
But
accepted.
why
Yeah,
should
it's
feel
status
love,
signaling.
bro.
But that's
It's
what I'm saying.
status
Why do you
signaling.
think guys are so afraid to say, yo, I wanted to be successful, I wanted to make all these millions to get a girl?
But it's not about being afraid to say it. I think that's a given. It's not about just to get a girl. You know what men also want? Men want respect of other men.
Yeah.
We want to be seen we want to be respected, right? We don't want
Facts.
to walk into a room and not be respected.
Sure.
So there's a lot of things we do to be respected. It's the reason
That's
certain
true.
men, it's the reason he's so fucking big. It's the reason I fought. It's like you want to be respected. You don't want to walk in a room and everyone go, fuck this guy. Right? You want to be respected by men and women alike. We're social animals. And this is why Alexander the Great conquered the known universe. This is why Genghis Khan conquered basically the whole world and said, find something else. Find something else for me to conquer. Don't give a fuck. Find somebody and take it. Because you want to, I'm the top G. That's
You're the
life. That's
fucking
why I conquered,
goat.
that's why I conquered the internet.
Yo,
The top
Dr.
G.
Tate. Dr. Tate. You're the
Yeah.
GOAT. Straight
Bro,
up.
like I mean, I grew up without a father in that sense. The reason why you talk about being big, like the thing that had me in the gym that made me feel like, okay, this is why this is so important to me, is because I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be respected. I wanted to feel like I'm gonna say, like I've been saying this time, is I wanted to feel loved, and I thought that being bigger, or being stronger, like would make me look obviously less weak to other men. I'd feel like
Completely.
maybe some acceptance of other people that I would consider father figures throughout my life.
Yep.
And on top of that, the thing that I keep trying to get you to talk about or to answer is like the ability to be vulnerable as men is not something that we're taught. Is actually, in fact, it's something that I think we're taught to not be vulnerable, to not be emotional, to not.
But
Well, Tate, you're not a big
that
vulnerability guy,
discomfort,
though, are
no,
you?
He's
but,
not.
but,
I just want to talk about it.
but that discomfort that you just described has led to a massive positivity in your life. I
Absolutely.
can say the absolute same thing for fighting. I decided to go out and learn to fight to the level I learned to fight because I had a couple fights in school and I won them, but it was kind of close, and I was like, that was too close for comfort. And I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna go learn to fight. And it's absolutely often discomfort and trauma and bad things
Yeah.
that will motivate you to go and do the most amazing things. Like we
Like you
said
said
earlier,
earlier, yeah.
you have to take the negativity and use it in a positive manner. Like we said about stress, it can go
Yeah.
in different directions.
It's just
I'll tell you right now, if you were to say to me, Andrew, you have to make double the money you're currently making, what's the number one emotion you want to feel to do it? I'd say
Stress.
I'd say heartbreak.
Stress?
Break my
This
heart.
is-
Break my heart. I can't sleep. I'm furious. Break my heart, and I'll make a fucking $1 billion. Take all the negativity and turn it into positivity. So that trauma and all those bad things that happen to you can be very, very positive things and give you a positive aspect on life if you approach it in the right way. Most people are told, when you feel sad, sit at home, be sad. It's not your fault. You've got a disease. You're depressed. Be a bitch about it. I argue the opposite. I say, when you feel sad, good. Take all that energy and convert it into something that's going to be a positive force for your life.
Would you say that even we're also taught to like stuff it away and not not actually think about it, not actually go through it, not actually process it?
Not embrace it and feel it. You should feel all of your emotions. If
Yeah.
I feel sad, I embrace it and I feel it. I'll tell you right now, the largest monumental jumps in my life in terms of success is when I was pissed off or sad.
Yeah, I mean, bro, like I could tell you, like all the time I spent in the gym to build myself, I was using that stress, I was using that trauma to make myself better.
Completely.
And that's what made me who I am today.
Absolutely.
But-
All the bad things that happen to you and make you feel in a bad way, some of those bad things that made me feel in a bad way were the most important energy sources for the most monumental jumps in my life.
Yeah.
The biggest,
I
my
just-
biggest achievement.
I just feel like people should be taught to be more vulnerable and raw with themselves to allow themselves to see that truth so that they can make that progress in their life. And
That's
not
very
enough people
true.
are comfortable
Yeah.
with that.
Completely.
Yeah,
They need
heartbreak made me
Facts.
go crazy.
Yeah, good. But
Started
but
crazy.
you went crazy, and this is the thing. You went crazy.
Like
with-
success does.
Good, perfect. But there's a whole bunch of men who go crazy and just fucking call a bitch a trillion times. Should have gone to the gym instead. Same energy in a different
Yeah.
place. So yeah, you have to feel vulnerable. You have to feel the emotions, and whether they're negative or positive, you have to embrace them and turn them into the best possible fuel to send yourself in your life.
Is
Yeah.
there anything we haven't
Yeah,
covered that you want to talk about?
Why are you trying to end the fucking podcast, dude?
I'm not.
Come on.
No, I'm
Still
just saying.
Yeah, you got any more questions in that little list?
No, which
You didn't want to answer them. Those were fan.
Yo!
Those were fan questions, Andrew.
They were fan questions?
Yeah, you think I would write
No,
something
he
like
wrote
that?
those in the car on the way over here. I swear to God.
Yeah,
You
that's
got a guy
there.
like that and a guy like me too that were like, "Yo, this guy's fucking pushing us to be better," but that's never seen.
Yeah, I understand, but I think that personally, I think I'm in a redemption arc, and I think that whether it's the Bible or the Quran or a superhero movie, there's always a guy